Welcome to Messages from the Universe with Laurie Wondra. Laurie is an internationally renowned psychic medium, author, and shamanic practitioner, sharing insights from angels, guides, wisdom keepers, and teachers of the universe that help you navigate life's mysteries and transformations.
Hello, I am Laurie Wondra, and thank you for listening. You might be done with September, but the energies of September continue to linger. And today we're going to talk about how to ground and integrate the eclipse season shifts. This is purposely a post-eclipse guide for this October's energy based on what you've just experienced in September. So eclipses are some of the most powerful cosmic events we experience. They shake, stir, and illuminate. They draw out what's been hidden and set the stage for radical redirection. And September 2025 delivered a potent series of eclipses. The lunar eclipse in Pisces and then followed by a solar eclipse in Virgo. Energies that touched our deepest emotions, beliefs, and practical structures of life. And we can't forget all of this was in the midst of the gateway of the fall equinox. But what happens when the shadow passes? When the moon returns to fullness and the sun shines once again? Well, October is the month of integration. It is the space between endings and beginnings, between the eclipse portals we just walked through and the steady rhythms we must now anchor. And if September felt like a cosmic storm, well, October is the fertile ground where we must plant the seeds of all that was revealed. So in this podcast, we'll explore the spiritual significance of post-eclipse periods, what integration really means on soul, body, and mind levels, some practical tools, and some ceremonies for grounding eclipse energy, if you're into that sort of thing, and how October's numerology and astrology supports this work. Some journaling prompts and meditation ideas that might carry you forward. This is a time of sacred pause after the intensity, the chance to embody the lessons and walk into the final months of 2025 and becoming renewed. It's the space between breaths. Now, eclipses are known to be cosmic reset buttons. They often unveil truths that we could not have seen before. They close doors that were long overdue for closure. They acclimate and accelerate timelines in ways that feel faded. They activate karmic threads, ancestral patterns, and definitely soul contracts. And during an eclipse season, the veil is and remains very thin. Time feels distorted and change is non-negotiable. What we resist often collapses, and while what is aligned emerges with undeniable force. But the hidden teachings are that eclipses do not demand that we act instantly. They demand that we wake up. Once the revelation arrives, the real work begins, integrating that awareness into our daily lives. The eclipse is an event, but the energy carries through in its cycle and it expects to be used. Think of an eclipse like a lightning strike in a dark landscape. For a moment, everything is illuminated. You see clearly where you stand, what lies in front of you, and what has been lurking in the shadows. But lightning doesn't move you. You must take the steps once the light fades. And October is the month of stepping. So what does this mean? Well, let's take a walk through every sign of the zodiac. Let's begin with Aries, because this is about redefining daily rhythms. Eclipse season spotlighted health, service, and spiritual release. October asks you to anchor new routines, honor your body, and clear habits that drain energy. The theme is I ground my vitality through mindful structure. And Taurus, well, your month is about creative fertility and joy. The eclipse stirred your house of creativity, of romance, and future vision. October brings integration through art, play, heart-centered living, and your theme is I let joy and creativity seed my future. And Gemini, the theme from the eclipse lingering energy is about home and belongings. Shifts around career and home surfaced in September, but October asks you to reroute, to tend to your sanctuary and listen to family or ancestral guidelines. Your theme is I create safe grounds where I can truly rest. And Cancer, your theme lingers in the areas of voice and vision. The eclipse cycle illuminated communication, teachings, and vision. So October invites you to ground your truth into words, journaling, or shared dialogue. And your theme is I integrate by speaking my heart with clarity. And Leo, your theme and the seeds that you need to start planting are about values and resources. Financial or self-worth revelations came through in September, and October is about anchoring abundance by aligning with values, not fear. Your theme is I ground my worth in what cannot be taken from me. And Virgo, for you, the eclipse themes and the seeds for you to continue to focus on are about your identity reset. With the solar eclipse in your sign, Virgo, this was deeply personal. October asks you to integrate the new you with patience and self-love. And your theme is I embody my authentic self, one grounded, one step at a time. And Libra, your theme is about rest and release. In eclipses stirred your subconscious, your dreams, your karmic endings. October is integration through rest, ritual, and surrender. And the theme is I honor endings by resting in my soul's wisdom. And Scorpio, your post-eclipse is about community and allies. Friendships, groups, or collective visions were shaken during the eclipse. But October asks you to anchor into authentic communities and release false ties. Your theme is I ground in circles where my spirit feels alive. And Sagittarius, well, your theme is purpose and path. Career and calling were certainly highlighted and illuminated last month. October invites you to slow down, integrate revelations about your true direction, and take measured steps forward. Your theme is I align my work with my soul's purpose. And Capricorn, your post-eclipse is about your belief systems. The eclipses pressed you on your spiritual philosophy and your worldview, and October is about grounding new beliefs in lived practices, not just theory. Your theme is I integrate wisdom by walking my truth. And Aquarius, well, it's about intimacy and transformation. Shared resources, intimacy, and soul-deep healing were stirred in September. So October is integration through trust, through honest conversations, and shedding fears around vulnerability. Your theme is I ground my transformation in trust and openness. And Pisces, your post-eclipse seeds are about partnership and mirrors. With the lunar eclipse in your sign last month, that was profound for you. October asks you to integrate new awareness of self and other and balancing your needs with your partnerships. A theme for you this month is I honor my truth while creating harmony with others. Now, eclipses require integration versus reaction. There's a lot of hype that leads up to eclipse season and the actual event of the eclipse. And many people rush to act after eclipse season, quitting jobs, ending relationships, leaping into new commitments. While some of that urgency is authentic, much of it is simply a reaction to the intensity of the energy. Eclipses are the event, but it's the energy that the eclipses bring that we need to tend to. And that puts us in that integration versus reaction. And integration is different. Reaction is fast. It's often emotional and often based on survival. The fear of, I got to get this done now, or I missed the opportunity. Where integration is slow, thoughtful, grounded in truth. And integration asks us to sit with what was revealed, to process it through our body, through our heart and our spirit, before translating it into any sort of action. This is why October, with its slower turning leaves and inward pull of autumn, is the perfect time. Now, October's numerology and astrology provides this supportive frame. October 2025 carries that universal vibration of 10 and 1 in numerology, representing completion, that's the number 10, and the new beginning, that's the number 1. It is the month that invites us to honor what has ended in September while courageously stepping into new pathways. And astrologically, October is not free from movement. Mars and Saturn bring accountability, while the Sun shifts into Scorpio, deepening our journey into transformation. But compared to the chaos of eclipse portals, October's energy is steadier. It's like the soil after the rain, damp, fertile, ready to be seeded. I always look at eclipse season or the eclipses as needing 3 layers of integration. Let's walk through those. The first layer is body. That's about grounding the nervous system. Eclipses stir the nervous system. Sleep may have been erratic, dreams incredibly wild or vivid, and emotions heightened. This is your body holding that imprint. So integration begins with physical grounding. You might feel like you got zapped and have been on edge. So some great practices for you are to get outside and walk barefoot on the earth daily. Eat grounding foods, root vegetables, warm stews, soups, grains. Practice slow, conscious breathing to regulate the nervous system. Place a hand on your heart and belly when you wake and before you sleep. Come back into your physical body. Come back into those energy ports and just allow yourself to feel your own personal gateways there. Number 2, your mind. This is about reframing the story. Eclipses reveal stories we've been telling ourselves. Some very, very outdated. In fact, in this last season, we're seeing the last 9 or 10 years of stories. And some of those stories are outdated, but they're also incomplete. And October is the time to rewrite them. Some great practices for you are to journal. And I like this phrase of the truth that emerged for me is, and fill in. What did emerge from you? And don't censor it. Just allow your inner voice to come out on the paper. Another practice is doing some challenging mental patterns. Ask yourself, is this thought aligned with my future or my past? I know sometimes we get into this analysis paralysis, but this would be a time also to ask that question, especially if you're straddling 2 decisions and you have a thought pattern about one or the other. Where are you aligned to? Are you still looking backwards or are you now aligned to your future? Also, replace the word catastrophic with what ifs. This grounds in possibilities and allows you to leave the chaos and look at solutions and direction and the future in a much more positive, grounded perspective. And number 3, spirit. Well, this is embodying the lesson. So eclipses often deliver spiritual downloads. This is a huge opportunity for us to release the old programs and again, those stories that no longer serve us. But we're embedded with new codes, new keys, new programs that can guide us into the future. And October is the time to embody them, not just admire them. So some great practices for you would be daily meditation, focusing on receiving guidance from your higher self, believing you already have the codes and the keys that you need. Now it's just the deciphering or the discerning. You need the decoder ring that can open up what the full new story is about or what it's going to be. Create and honor what was released. Sometimes we get through a situation or we release something big in our life and we just want to run from it. We move on. But this is a time to honor the hard work that you did leading up to the release, the actual releasing, and then just celebrating it's gone. Also, I like to use candles. So each evening it might be light a candle and ask, what am I becoming? Because as humans, we are always transmuting and changing and evolving, and we're always becoming something different than we are right now. Now, nature mirrors our inner cycles, and we can see here in the northern hemisphere as the trees begin to release leaves, we too are called to let go of what no longer serves us. The air begins to turn crisp, that pulls us inward. The harvest is gathered, reminding us of the fruits of our labor. And October whispers, integration, it's natural. We're not meant to stay in eclipse intensity forever. It's an event. And just as the seasons shift, so do we. By aligning with autumn's rhythm, we integrate eclipse energy with grace and peace, and certainly with ease. Now, to celebrate your growth, key questions for you to maybe ponder, maybe journal about would be, what did September's eclipses reveal to me about me? It's easier sometimes to look at other things that may be cropped up with others around you, but this is a question about you. What was revealed to you about you? Another great question is, what am I ready to release permanently? You might have said, I'm done releasing. I'm just done. I've been releasing forever. I'm done. But ask that question. Now, as you've gotten through another layer and you've gone deeper, what's there lurking that you might now be ready to release permanently? And next is, what new seeds am I planting in the soil of October? And how can I ground these changes in my daily routine? Not just something I do once and I forget about it, but what can I change to integrate all this that I've learned into a new or an enhanced daily routine? Now, common post-eclipse themes are often about endings and goodbyes, where you may feel relationships, jobs, old habits dissolve or go away. Trust that what leaves creates space for alignment. Trust that what leaves is meant to leave. And if you're still struggling with something that isn't going away, ask the question, what do I yet need to experience or learn from this so I can release it? Also, other themes are sudden opportunities. An eclipse often opens doors. It's the new stories. It's the new seeds. But resist rushing and ask, is this truly aligned, or am I seeking escape? And next is emotional purges often occur that include tears, dreams, even physical detoxing are signs of integration. And through this time, be gentle with yourself. The human body does a lot. And living this integration daily, again, it's not a single ritual, it's a daily practice. And some days you may feel clear, others you may feel foggy, and some days you might feel incredibly energized, and others exhausted, heavy, or tired. And that's normal. The key is consistency, returning to grounding, reflection, and embodied action again and again. Now, eclipses are dramatic, we know that, but their real gift comes in the quiet that follows. We don't forget that we just completed September with a huge month of energy shifts and changes and blasts from the universe. October is the invitation to sit with your truth, to plant what you wish to grow, and to let your soul catch up to those revelations. And as you move through this month, remember, the eclipse showed you what is real. Integration helps you embody it, and October's energy supports steady, soulful transformation. My blessing and wish for you today is that may you walk gently, courageously, and intentionally into this new season, carrying forward only what aligns with your highest self. I'm Laurie Wondra of Your Life Core, and thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to Messages from the Universe. For information about Laurie Wondra's current events or to schedule a private session, visit her website, yourlifecore.com. You can also subscribe to her monthly newsletter. Laurie also shares inspirational and informational messages on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Thanks again for listening.